Hello everyone and welcome back to another AOR Season 15 highlights video here for round number 13, the Japanese Grand Prix at Suzuka. And it's a track I've always enjoyed driving around. It's definitely one of my favourites on the calendar. I've never really had amazing results around here. I think last season I came P2 from what I remember, which is still a pretty decent result. But yeah, didn't really have the pace to win, but definitely is a track I've enjoyed. And throughout practice I didn't really have good enough pace compared to the likes of Deagle and Dom, who always seem to have quite a big pace advantage over me especially, and yeah, it's going to be difficult to try and fight for a win today. So with the championship being pretty much over, I think all we could do at this stage was just to aim for the best result we can get. And yeah, you can see now joining the action here with about 1 minute 20 remaining in qualifying. We are currently in P2, so not too bad, but we're definitely looking to improve on our lap here. It's a 27.7 at the moment, and you can see there through Degner 1 we made a massive mistake and almost losing the car into a spin there, but yeah, that's meant that our lap is over there, so we're going to have to go for another lap here, and there's only one more chance for us to improve, so it's very important how we do on this lap at the moment. And it's also not ideal if you've done one lap before and you've got to start on these tyres when you've already done, well, this will be our second lap on these tyres, so it's not ideal. And maybe compared to the people around us on the grid, we might be at a disadvantage because our tyres may be slightly more worn than theirs. But you can see Dom's put up a 27.2, which is absolutely rapid. I think last season my qualifying time was a 27.3 or 4 from what I remember, so we've got to try and get close to that, if not try and beat it. So starting the lap now, not really the best start to lap, missing the apex there through that last corner, but yeah, definitely not an ideal start to lap. But anyway, we've got to keep pushing because this is our only opportunity to improve here. We're currently on P6 on the grid, so we definitely got to try and improve. As now heading round the end of sector 1, we're only slightly up on our previous best time, and that's not good enough really at this stage, so we've got to push as hard as we can. And now approaching the hairpin, 7th gear on the entry, but now braking into 3rd gear, now 2nd, before short shifting back up to 3rd in the exit of the corner. Not really getting the best traction as Falcon lets us pass, and now Deagle's put up a 27.1, which I knew at this stage we're not going to be able to beat, so we've just got to try and aim for around P3, P4 kind of area, and then hopefully we can have a good race from there. But it's definitely not been the best lap, slightly missing the apex there on the second part of Spoon, and we're going to have to see what the time is at the second sector point, as now heading towards that, and we're only slightly up on our 27.7, only by 0.08 of a second. That is not good enough at all. We're currently in P9, is now approaching the final chicane, taking that pretty nicely in 3rd gear, getting a pretty decent exit, as now heading towards the line, opening DRS, and we set a 27.5, putting us P8 on the grid, pretty much 4/10 off pole. And yeah, that's not ideal for our race at all. We're in a very, very difficult position. It's quite difficult to overtake around here anyway, but rounding up to the 5 red lights, and it's lights out and away we go. We've got Tim Palm in front and Ovidi Kink behind. Not really getting the best launch off the line. You can see Tim Palm's got an absolutely amazing launch, and he's going side by side with Clarkey heading towards turn number 1. We're just going to try and stay out of trouble here around the outside. We don't want to lose any places, but we also want to try and make as much progress as possible, and we're not able to make any progress at all. So it's not really been the worst start in the world because we managed to maintain our position, but it would have been good for our race if we managed to get past at least a couple of cars. But anyway, we're still in P8 at the moment, as now heading around the first sector. The dirty air does affect you quite a bit around the first sector, but I've been playing the F1 2018 beta quite a lot, and the dirty air on that, I can tell you, is a lot more significant compared to this game, especially around that first sector of Suzuka as well. As now looking to the inside of Clarkey into the hairpin, but not able to make a move there. That would have been definitely very over ambitious into that hairpin. As now changing the diff down to 90, but yeah, we just got to try and look after the tyres. I think the setup was pretty good in the race, but as I said earlier, we haven't got the pace of people like Dom and Eagle, and I was hoping maybe we can try and beat Synthetic here today, but he had a pretty good qualifying around here, as he did in Malaysia as well. And yeah, it's definitely going to be tough to beat him as well, considering he's usually stronger in the race than he is in qualifying as well. But approaching the end of lap 1, breaking into the chicane, and you can see Falcon's right on the back of Synthetic actually, so it looks like Synthetic's starting to hold up Falcon there in P4 at the moment. But Deagle sets fast lap, obviously being the first across the line at the end of lap 1, as we now enter lap 2. Still unable to make any kind of progress, and yeah, still unable to make a move on Clarkey for the time being, but we got to try our very best to get past him as quickly as possible. But as I said, you just lose quite a bit through sector 1 with the dirty air, and it's just, yeah, the slipstream is pretty non-existent as well, so it's really quite difficult to get through. You can see understeering quite a bit there, but as I said, not really that bad compared to F1 2018 dirty air. But anyway, moving on to spoon curve at the moment here on lap 3, and you can see Clarky's actually made a mistake there, and he almost wipes us out, and he's half spun. Now we've managed to get through into P7, and we have probably about a gap of about a second and a half up to Tim Palm in front, and it's actually 1.2 seconds. We got half a second back to Overdy Kink, so I knew at this stage, now we've got clear air to the cars in front, we just got to try and catch up with that little group, including Synthetic and Falcon, as well as Tim Palm as well. So Deagle crosses the line with a 31.2, and we crossed the line with a 31.6, so pace isn't too bad at the moment. You can see now moving on to lap 6, we have started to close on that little group in front, and you can see Falcon's actually managed to get through on Synthetic there for P4. So Synthetic has not had the greatest start. I think he started in P3 and now he's down to P5, so not ideal for him, and it's actually looking pretty good that we might be able to beat him here today, and his pace wasn't looking amazing. I don't think he particularly likes this track, and yeah, at the moment it's looking good that we can maybe fight for a top 4 finish. I don't think a podium's going to happen today, because if you look on the mini-map you can see the gap already to the top 3 cars is extending. I think it's Deagle, Dom, and I'm not quite sure who the other car is. I don't really remember if I'm honest, because once again this race happened a little while ago now, so yeah, I don't really remember who's in P3 at the moment. But that top 3, they're really quick, and we're going to struggle to beat them here. But you can see X in the final corner. We got DRS this time, but we're just going to stay in standard for the time being. Don't really need to use any fuel up at the moment, because we set a personal best lap of the race on lap 7, which is, well, on the end of lap 6 there. So you don't usually do that, but that shows that our setup is pretty good on its tyres at the moment, and we definitely have a good chance of fighting these guys in front. And we look like we've probably got the quickest pace out of all of them at the moment, and yeah, getting right up the back behind them, but obviously not going to make any kind of move at this stage. But Falcon's currently, I think he got past Synthetic on something like lap 4 into turn 1, so he managed to make a move on him with the DRS and slipstream and everything. He managed to make a fair move up the inside of Synthetic, so I think that kind of bunched them up, and we've been able to catch them, and yeah, the pace is looking pretty decent at the moment. But now moving on to the final chicane, almost hitting the back of Tim Palm there, braking very late here on the end of lap 7. That's now getting to open DRS now. On to lap 8, set for 32.3, so the pace is starting to drop off now as we get into dirty airs. Falcon defends the inside line from Synthetic into turn number 1. Synthetic's not able to make a move around there, but for now at least we just got to stay behind these guys and try and find the opportunity to get through. I was hoping maybe we could pressurise Tim Palm into a mistake, and then we can try and fight Synthetic, because although me and Synthetic obviously we've been trying to fight for this championship as we were in season 14, we've never really had a race this season where we've had a proper battle. I know we've raced a bit this season, but we haven't had that one race where we've had a pretty mega battle, and I was hoping that might be today. I was hoping I could maybe clear Tim Palm and then hopefully try and fight Synthetic, but Synthetic's right on the back of Falcon at the moment, as once again we look to the inside of the hairpin, but not going to go for a move from that far behind around there. But you can see now moving on to lap 9, round turn 2, as now heading into the twisty section here in sector 1, and once again still just having to maintain position for the time being, not able to make any kind of progress, as you can see just getting right up behind the back of Tim Palm. But I think it's an easy one stop round here today. As you can see, Falcon in front's actually made a mistake and he's into the wall and he's out of the race, and yeah, I don't know what happened to him. I think he just carried far too much speed there and ran onto the Astro and lost it into the wall, and that's a shame for him. He was doing pretty well here today, but that's now given Synthetic some free air to try and extend the gap to myself and Tim Palm. So I knew at this stage we just got to try and get past Tim Palm, probably towards turn number 1, because that's really the most realistic overtaking place around here. And yeah, the slipstream just wasn't really, I can't really remember if someone had left at this stage and the slipstream glitch was happening or not, but it's just really quite difficult to overtake with just the lack of slipstream we have. And you can see we're in rich, we got supposed slipstream, but it's not really helping us at the moment. So if we're going to get through, the DRS is definitely going to be the main influence. But you can see the gap behind is 2.7 seconds back to Overdy Kink once again. He's definitely having a pretty solid race in P7, but you can see now coming into the pits, Tim Palmer also comes in, and we're going to follow him into the pits now. And I was hoping maybe we could jump him here, so into the pit box, going on to a set of the soft tyres, and it should be pretty easy to make it to the end. As now exiting the pit box, we managed to jump him, so that's definitely an ideal situation. And we need a really good out lap here to try and jump Synthetic with the undercut. I know once again Synthetic's really good on his tyres, so I wasn't expecting to gain too much time on these fresh softs compared to his pretty worn out super softs, but we got to give it our all here on this out lap to try and jump him. So you can see going in rich mix immediately, and I was hoping there's going to be no traffic, and there is no traffic, so we just got to push as hard as we can here on this out lap to try and jump him here on lap 10. And you can see Dom's also pitted in front, but he's got quite a big gap, so yeah, as I said, very difficult for us to beat him here today, because once again his pace is really good, and I expect him definitely in future seasons to be fighting for the championship. He's definitely one to watch out for in the future. But you can see now crossing the line onto lap 11, and Synthetic is in the pits. Michael puts up a 31.0. He pitted on lap 9, I believe, and now Synthetic has come out of the pits in front of us, but only just. So now I was thinking this is our chance to fight Synthetic and have a good battle. But you can see now Super Scrub's made some kind of error there, and he's now right in front of Synthetic. So Super Scrub's probably going to get involved in this battle, which, to be honest, I didn't want. I just wanted myself and Synthetic to have a decent, fair fight, which definitely looked like it was going to happen. But now Super Scrub is right in front of us, and I'm not sure whether he's pitted. Well, no, he hasn't pitted yet, so he's definitely going to be in the way of both of us at the moment. But now Synthetic's going to try and find his way through, and he goes down the inside here of the hairpin, and he tries to make the move stick on Super Scrub. It's a pretty fair move there from Synthetic, but now they're going side by side down the straight. Super Scrub's got the inside line now towards Spoon, and I don't know why he's fighting so hard when he's not really in the fight at all. But now we're looking to the outside, and Super Scrub makes the move on Synthetic. Synthetic runs wide, we look to the inside there, almost making a bit of contact with him, and now Super Scrub loses the car on the exit, and he's actually taken out Synthetic. And I know that's good for my championship, but to be honest, at this stage I knew it was over, and yeah, I wasn't happy at all at that stage, and I was more concerned for Synthetic's race. I felt sorry for him, if I'm honest, because Super Scrub, I don't know what he was doing. He nearly took me out in Austria, I think, when he was fighting me when he hadn't pitted yet, and there he's done the same thing with Synthetic. He's just lost the car and made a big error. I know it wasn't intentional or anything, but yeah, it was a big mistake, and he shouldn't really be doing things like that. But now, towards the end of lap 12, my teammate Curly's come into the pits, and we're still in P9 at the moment. I think there's still quite a few people yet to pit, but now we're in a provisional P4 out of the cars that have pitted, so we're in a good position here. Nardi's in front. He's he's the one who was in P3 now, but he has pitted as well, so yeah, it's going to be difficult to catch him. I was hoping maybe we could, but it's really difficult to shake off Tim Palm from behind. He's actually going for a move around the outside of turn number 1. He makes a really nice move there. Fair play to him. That was a really good move. But as I was saying, I was going to try after Synthetic's crash to just try and catch up with Nardi and put in some consistent times, but with the last sector around this track, it's so difficult to try and get rid of the cars in front. Obviously with the slipstream DRS and everything, it's going to be just so difficult to get rid of them. And now Tim Palm's managed to get in front, so yeah, as I said, we couldn't break the gap to them and try and extend the gap so they couldn't catch us, but now Tim Palm's managed to get in front, and I was determined at this stage to just get him back immediately, and that was what I was trying to do. We now got Michael behind us in the Ferrari. He's always pretty quick. I don't think he had the best qualifying, but we need to watch out for him now. That's now heading round to Spoon. I just knew at this stage we've just got to have a good last sector here and try and catch up with Tim Palm. I'm not sure what wings he was running, and to be honest I don't really remember what I was running. I was running 1 something, but I don't remember once again because this happened quite a while ago. But we seem to be much quicker than Tim Palm in the straight there. As you can see, we're not even in rich at the moment. That's now heading towards the chicane, braking at the 100 metre board. Third gear, Deagle puts up a 30.4. That is really quick race pace. But now onto the pit straight. We're going to open DRS now and go into rich mix, and we're going to try and get past Tim Palm once again. We're going to try and get him back immediately. So in the slipstream, we go to the inside line. He's left a gap on the inside, so we go for it up the inside of turn number 1, and I was really happy with that move. and we managed to get through back up into P7, which is a provisional P4 out of the cars that have pitted, and we now got Kian in front who's running a different strategy. He started on the soft tyres, so we're going to probably catch him quite quickly because obviously his tyres are going to be more worn out than ours, so we're going to catch him quite quickly. And I knew at this stage we just got to put in some consistent times and see what we can do against Tim Palm and Michael to try and extend the gap. But I knew fighting for a podium with the likes of Nardi in front is going to be very, very difficult at this stage. But you can see moving on to lap 16, we've now caught up to Kian, and we're now in P6 because someone else pitted. Can't really remember who, but we've got Kian in front, and you can just see how much grip we have compared to him in the first sector. But you can see he's lagging slightly there, which is really, really quite off-putting because you don't actually know where he is on the track, so you just got to follow him and hope that nothing bad happens. You can see get right up behind him there into Degner too, hitting the back of him, lucky not to get any damage there. But now we've got to try and get past him as quickly as possible, so we're going to go down the inside here of the hairpin, going for it up the inside. He turns in pretty early there, we make a bit of contact and exiting the corner now, still going side by side, but he's just about going to edge in front. And I was hoping he wasn't going to put up too much of a fight against us because I knew you just got to try and get past him as quickly as possible and try not to lose too much against him. But fourth gear around Spoon, getting a pretty good exit onto the straight now. We're in rich mix, we've got slipstream, and we've got to try and get the move done here into 130R. But you can see how much he's lagging there, so we're just going to pull to the inside here, going side by side with him into 130R, and we get the move done. And we actually forced him wide there, but to be honest, I thought that was all fair, and I thought that was a pretty nice move there from myself. So we're now up into P5 and still with someone yet to pit, but yeah, we're in a good position, and Michael's actually managed to get through on Tim Palm as well, so it's going to be tough here in the remaining 10 or 11 laps of the race to try and keep these guys behind, because obviously, as I said already, it's so difficult to extend the gap because you can extend it through sector 1 with the superior grip of being the first car in front, and obviously they've got dirty air, but you just lose so much in the last sector. And you can see now moving on to the end of lap 17, going through 130R, Michael looks to the outside here of the chicane. That's definitely going to be a difficult move for him to pull off, but you can see he's still there around the outside, and we're going to try not to lose too much time with him. And you can see how much of a train we've now got behind us, and this is going to be a pretty intense battle. We've got Michael, Tim Palm and OVD Kink right up behind us. Now Michael goes to the outside line into turn number 1, side by side with him, and I was hoping he wouldn't make the same move as Tim Palm. We're going side by side into turn 2, and we've managed to just about hold on to P4 there, and that was pretty fair and hard racing there. I did force him slightly wide on the exit there of turn 2, but that was all fair, and it's a good battle at the moment. So here on lap 18, it's definitely going to be a tough remainder of this race to keep these guys behind. But P4 from P8 on the grid, once again not really having the best qualifying like we did at Malaysia. For some reason my qualifying's just started to slip a bit in this final part of season 15, and that's a bit of a shame really. But if we manage to hold on to this P4 from P8, it would definitely be a good result. As once again Michael's looking for a move then to the chicane. He tried to fake it to the inside, but it didn't put me off, and we managed to hold on to this P4 for the time being. Is now on to lap 19, down the pit straight, staying in standard for the time being because I didn't really want to use too much of my fuel, as now he's got the DRS, got the slipstream around the outside of turn 1, but he's not able to make the move. And I thought at this stage we're defending everything pretty well. I think so far in this race we've pretty much done everything right. We haven't done much wrong at this stage, so we just got to keep doing what we're doing, hopefully get some decent points for the championship there by holding on to P4. Obviously Synthetic's out of the points at the moment, and I don't remember what the gap was to him, but it's a big ask for us to still be in contention for the championship at this stage with the way things have gone this season. But it's going to be tough anyway, but we're going to give it our all to stay in front of Michael here, as Michael looks to the inside, but we're going to defend that, go right up against the pit wall, as now he goes round the outside of turn number 1 once again, and once again we're going to defend it really well and hold on to the position. And yeah, it's looking good at the moment for holding on, but this, I can tell you, this is it's such an intense battle in this situation. I know it's only for P4, but it's really, really intense. But you can see now moving on to the end of lap 20, and myself and Michael started to pull away ever so slightly from Tim Palm and OVD Kink, and Tim Palm didn't really seem to have as good pace on these tyres as he did on the super softs. But you can see Michael's once again in the slipstream, and he switches it to the inside and makes a pretty nice move there up the inside of me, and he did catch me off guard there by switching it to the inside, and that was a pretty fair move from him, and yeah, it's been a good battle with him. I definitely enjoyed it. It's all clean, all fair, and yeah, hopefully we can try and get him back. But I wasn't too fussed at this stage that he got through, because obviously we just got to try and extend the gap to the cars behind, and if we can do that by following him, because I knew he's probably slightly quicker than me at this stage, so if we follow him and then maybe extend the gap to the cars behind, we can, yeah, try and get him towards the end of the race and try and get back that P4, because it's better to be in a battle of 2 cars than in a battle of 4. And yeah, especially around a track like Suzuka where it's quite difficult to overtake, but then obviously you got the last sector and the pit straight as well, where you can obviously get cars back quite easily there. But you can see now we've actually extended track limits. We've now got a 3-second time penalty, so it's actually better now that we're behind Michael, because now we've got slipstream, now we've got DRS, and we got to extend the gap to the cars behind by 3 seconds because of that penalty. And I lost time through that, and I only ever so slightly went off the track with all 4 wheels, and unfortunately I got my 3rd warning, and that's a penalty for us. So it is what it is, and we just got to try and extend this gap to the cars behind. So we've got the slipstream, we've got DRS, we're in rich mix now, and yeah, we're not going to go for a move into turn 1. You can see how much we're closing on him there, but we're not going to go for a move around there. We're just going to stay behind him for now and then see what we can do at the end of the race. And you can see now moving on to lap 25, and in between Michael did actually extend the gap to just over a second, but we managed to close that gap back down, and now towards the end of lap 25 we're right on the back of him. And I knew at this stage, with the gap to Tim Palm being extended, I knew we just got to try and get past Michael, and we're going to see the gap to Tim Palm now, and it's 2.6 seconds. I didn't know whether Tim Palm had a penalty or not at this stage, and yeah, we still got to try and extend that gap to just over 3 seconds to be safe. But you can see now we've got a pretty good opportunity to get back past Michael. He's gone defensive already, and we've got DRS open, we've got rich mix as well in the slipstream, looking to the outside line here of turn number 1, and not quite able to make the move there, but we've still got 2 laps left to try, so we got, well, in reality it's only really one more realistic overtaking chance, so we just got to stick right behind him here, and we've still got to go for this move to try and get through, as we didn't really take the best line there through that corner, but neither did Michael, so we're not really losing too much to him. But if we battle too much with Michael, we're going to lose time to Tim Palm and Overdy Kink, so we don't want to lose too much with him. We're going to see the gap to Overdy Kink once again, it's 2.4, so it's actually gone down, so we really just got to not lose too much time whilst trying to overtake Michael, because like Tim Palm, I didn't know whether Michael had a penalty or not, so we still got to try our best to overtake him for P4. But anyway, now moving on to the end of lap 26 towards the start of lap 27, and we didn't get the best exit there out the final corner, and that was our best chance to overtake, and that's a real shame because we didn't get the best exit. And you can see how the gap's gone up, and the gap to Tim Palm as well, it's now 2.1, so we're really not safe. And yeah, that was our opportunity to get past Michael, but yeah, didn't get the best traction, and that's really our chance gone. But we'll see what we can do here on this final lap, and we're going to stay on board here for the final lap, and you still got to be wary of that gap to Tim Palm. I was really hoping he had a penalty, because I felt my penalty was a bit unfair really, because like I said, I didn't gain any time, and it was such a minuscule extend that yeah, it wasn't really fair. But you can see the gap's now pretty much 2.6 seconds, so it's gone up half a second there in sector 1. But yeah, like I was saying, it's unfortunate that I got that penalty, but the rules are the rules, and it's the same for everyone, so we've got to deal with it. And yeah, we're not far off Michael now, going around spoon curves, 6th gear around here, and we're going to see what we can do here in this final sector of the race. Not really getting the best exit there onto the straight, and once again that's another chance gone pretty much. But we're going to stay in the slipstream, we're going to follow him here in rich mix, we're going to use as much fuel as we can. Dom takes the win, so fair play to him, that was a good drive from him to take the win. His pace has been amazing around here. And now rounding the final chicane, getting right up behind the back of Michael, and we actually get a pretty good exit this time out the final corner. We go side by side towards the line, but we're never really going to make a move around there on the last lap, so we take P5. And you can see Tim Palm actually did have a penalty, and that's put Overdy Kink into P6, and we managed to hold on to P5. So from P8 on the grid, not a bad race, and overall yeah, not too bad, pretty decent. But unfortunately we didn't have the pace of the top 3, and hopefully at the next round in America we can have a good end to the season for me. And I think after this round the gap to Synthetic in the championship was something like 34 points, which with me obviously missing the last round confirms him as champion, so fair play to him. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. Leave a like if you have, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I will see you for the final round of season 15 at USA. So I'll see you very soon. Goodbye.